Hi there, and welcome to Naturally Recovering Autism. I am your host, Karen Thomas, and I want to thank you so much for being here and being a proactive parent and getting the resources that you need to let your child live their most fulfilling and independent life possible. When my own son was diagnosed with autism, I was told to drug him and try behavioral therapies, and there was nothing else that we could do for him but manage his symptoms the rest of his life. But I didn't want to do that. Fortunately, my background in craniosacral therapy of now 30 years let me know that the brain can and does heal, but I didn't know that much about autism. What I did know is that I didn't want to just mask the symptoms with dangerous drugs. I wanted to find the causes and work with them naturally. And fast forward, it took me a decade and a lot of time and effort, but today my son is no longer diagnosable with autism after being told it could not happen. So I'm here to share with you valuable resources to save you the time and some of the expense that I had to spend to figure it out, and to help you let your child lead to their best results possible. Every child's level of recovery is different, but we know that children who couldn't sleep through the night are sleeping now through the night and happily. Their immune systems are now strong where they were once sick all the time. Children who were nonverbal and their parents were told they could never speak are now speaking. Children who were getting D's and F's in school are getting A's and B's. And those that were so anxious all the time and couldn't sit still and were uncomfortable in their own bodies are now calm and happy and relaxed. And they're leading fulfilling and independent lives with friends. This is what we want for our kids. So I'm here to share the resources with you so that you can get the best results for your child, the best possible. And you can start that right now with my free download of the top 7 foods to eliminate beginning today, of the top foods that are the most inflammatory and toxic that are contributing to those physical and behavioral symptoms of autism that your child is having. They're making his life uncomfortable. So you can get that right now at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/7 foods. And feel free to share that with anybody you know who would be interested. And I will also link to it in today's show notes. There's, of course, a lot more than diet, but this is something you could start doing today that will begin to reduce those symptoms. And I'm happy to share everything I can with you. So right now, let's dive into today's episode. Hi there, and welcome back to Naturally Recovering Autism. I appreciate you always for being here and for what you're doing for your child. And I'm also wanting to give you solutions and help you know of things that you can do, because I've lived this journey myself, and I know that it can be so challenging, and you're trying to figure out what to do and how to do it. And one of the things I want to talk about today is why most autism therapies fail to create lasting change. So, I'm all about biology, right? People say, what is she talking about when she says recovery? Well, the definition of recovery is to regain health. Literally, that is what it says in the dictionary. And every child's level of recovery is different. And recovery is, as it being for health issues, goes to the biology. We've got, all the symptoms we see, the headaches, the stomach aches, the tantrums, the lack of sleep, the inability to focus, all of these issues that, many people have that are challenging. If you have, what they say in the Diagnostic Statistical Manual when they diagnose autism is if you have a certain amount of these, traits, then they label you with, oh, well, you have autism. Well, what happens if you work on the underlying biological causes, right? That's what we're about. Is we don't want to just mask a symptom, put a Band-Aid on it, drug it up, try to cut it out. We want to see what we can do to help the body be healthier, because these are health challenges. And we're talking about gut issues and leaky gut and heavy metal toxicity and other toxicity from all of the other things in the environment that we have to protect against. And then there's the co-infections and pathogens, which a lot of people don't even know about. Mold biotoxins in and around your home or other exposures, glyphosate, parasites, Lyme disease. All of these things are really affecting our kids and us as well. You might notice that you have issues with sleep, irritability. You think, oh, I'm just irritable because I'm not sleeping well or whatever. But there could be another underlying issue. There are a lot of people that are given SSRI depression drugs when they actually have the mold biotoxin issue. This is how much it can affect the brain. And it can affect the brain in a way that you wake up exhausted even when you're supposed to have had a good night's sleep. Or you wake up and you're just, your mental fatigue, your brain fog is so intense, you think, what is going on? Well, these can have underlying past viral issues. They can have current viral issues. They can have mold biotoxin issues. They can have Lyme issues, parasites, all of these things that are important. And I learned this because, well, I do have 39 years in holistic health in my background. So I have a lot of background and knowledge. As you know, my background is craniosacral therapy, studying the brain. I've studied nutrition. I've taken multiple courses in so many health-related issues along those almost 40 years. But when my son was diagnosed with autism, I had to find out what was causing his symptoms. Okay, so there's autism. What does that mean? What can I do for him was my main thing. And like you, I jumped around from doctor to doctor, therapist, different things that they said at first, try this, try this. And, they wanted me to drug him and try behavioral therapies. But I was like, I'm not doing that for my son. I want him to have a healthier, happier life. And I want to see what I can do to help his body heal at a health level. I wanted him to be healthy, which was going to help him be happier. And so it took me a decade, and today I have the answers. I found what brought my son to full recovery. His symptoms are gone. People say, really, does he need an aid? Does he need financial help? Does he need, somebody to live with him? Does he need this? No, he's fine. And I mean, great, fine. Okay, can I promise that that'll happen for your child? Absolutely not, because it's human biology, and we don't know what the answers are going to be for every individual. But what I can tell you is I have enough answers and solutions to share with you to give you a straight roadmap to be able to find out what we can do to help your child's underlying speech delays. They might stim, maybe they have sleep issues, gut issues, meltdowns, sensory challenges, anxiety, behavioral issues. Can't focus and learn in a classroom when we know how smart they are, because that was my son's issue too. And today, he went through college. He ended up with A's and B's all the way through college after all of this. He's a happy, healthy guy living independently, has a full-time great job, financially fully independent. I mean, really doing great. And he's one of my best friends, and this is what we can give to our kids. What people do is they will often focus on a symptom. And I want to really be clear that this is an underlying dysfunction. So as an analogy, imagine if your car's oil light, check engine light, and battery light all came on. And you could cover each of those warning lights with a piece of tape, but then the car still isn't fixed, right? You have to repair what is causing the warning lights. And that's what we want to do. And again, these kids can be sick because they have these pathogens, infections, toxins that are invading their body and making their brain inflamed. So parents are not failing. You are not failing. It is simply that you haven't had the right knowledge before. It took me a decade to figure this out. So don't think that you just, and a lot of people just had like one little piece of a diet or some diet knowledge, but then they didn't do anything with toxins, or others knew some things about detoxing, but they really didn't know all there is to know about diet. Many of them didn't even approach the co-infections or know how to work with those properly if they were even found. So, a lot of parents are still just working on these warning lights instead of repairing the symptoms. And the biggest mistake parents make when trying to help their child with autism is buying supplement after supplement, trying every diet, chasing the newest therapy, following random advice online. First of all, you want to know, has that person ever recovered somebody fully from autism? What is their level of success? Have they lived through it themselves? And those are two things that I can tell you the answer is yes for me. I've done both. And I want to help you to get the best solutions, or I have the best solutions I believe to offer you. And so I'm here to share this with you. I've been sharing this with you for over a decade now, myself as well. And they try to do everything all at once. You have to know what the sequence is, what a systemic way is to work with everything. Have a system in place. because success isn't about doing more. It's about doing things in the right order. And your body has priorities. So, for example, if your kitchen sink is overflowing, you don't start painting the walls, right? You stop the flood first. So likewise, the body has to heal in the proper sequence. And we're talking about human biology. People say, well, what do you mean it's biological? Biology, it's talking about these health issues. So this is why parents can get stuck. And so many parents feel stuck because it's not because you're not trying hard enough. It's because no one has shown you the correct order. So I am going to teach a free online upcoming event, and I want you to be there so that you can understand what I have to share with you from my 20 years, 2 decades of autism research and almost 40 years of holistic health background. And I'm bringing it to you. It's going to be an hour-long webinar that I'm doing, and it's coming up. The link to it, if you're listening to this podcast live, it's coming up in July. The link to register now for my free online event where I'm going to walk through what I did for my son and what I can help you to know what the best answers are and how I can help you through it. If you're looking for that, go register now at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/July. And if you're not listening to this live and you've missed it for some reason, then make sure that you go to the show notes at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/249, because I always have valuable gems to give to you regardless, because I don't want you to ever feel lost or alone or feel like nobody gets it or jump to the next shiny nickel syndrome, right? The next, what this doctor says they can do this, or this therapist says they have this, or I heard this medication or this supplement can be good. That's enough of that. That is emotionally pressing, traumatic, and it presses on all of our fears, and we want to make sure that we know what to do, and I want to help you do that. And it's why I'm here for you, why I take my time, my resources, my knowledge to be able to share this with you, because I know what you're working with at home, and I know how challenging it is, the sleepless nights, the worry about your child's future, and watching them be unhappy and unhealthy, and basically a lot of the time really beyond challenging, they can even be struggling, and it's not fair to the child. They do deserve to have a better life, and I believe that we can bring that to them. So I look forward to having you at the event. Please make sure that you join me and share it with anybody you know who could be struggling with these issues as well, because a lot of parents are in need of this, and everyone is welcome. It is a free online virtual event. Again, if you're listening live, the link to register is naturallyrecoveringautism.com/July. And if you missed out afterwards, go to my show notes at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/249. And the show notes will be there for you, and I'll have a lot of valuable gems to share with you as well. So I hope this has been helpful, and I really look forward to seeing you at the event and helping you get your child better and helping you get the support you need too.